Jennifer Lopez ex-husband drama history exposed. We got to talk about this and more, but before we get into it, hi best friend, and welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my whole vibe is like we're on a FaceTime call and we're just hanging out, keeping each other company. I am so grateful and thankful to be here with you all, and boy do we have some tea, because back then when this happened, girl, I was not spilling tea. So sometimes I get these needs, these wants to. By the way, I just had such an amazing homemade chicken salad. I'll give you guys a recipe towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. But oh my gosh, it was so delicious. But anyways, it's Flashback Friday, where I'm going to take some tea from the past and bring it back. And there's some updates of now about Jennifer Lopez and her ex-husband, Marc Anthony, which apparently is also the one who allegedly caused a rift between the Beckhams, but that's a whole different story. But anyways, tomorrow we'll be going live at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to celebrate my 10-year anniversary here on YouTube. I hope you guys can make it. We'll be watching some of my old videos that are privated, girl, especially my first video ever. So stay tuned and let's go down memory lane. Now, if you guys... obviously, you know, Miss Jennifer Lopez was married to Mr. Marc Anthony. And Marc Anthony, you know, I just remember my grandmother was so obsessed with this man. She thought he was so freaking sexy. And I will always remember Marc Anthony and just picture my grandmother. She loved him so much. But yeah, Jennifer Lopez and Marc Anthony were married. So where are they now? How do they feel about each other now? I got all the tea, so sit back and relax, because we're going to take a trip down memory lane. Okay, so listen. First of all, let me just say, okay, Marc Anthony, you know... There's been a lot of drama with Marc Anthony, especially about a lot of alleged substance issues, and just, you know, it's not great. But anyways, let's go down. So Jennifer Lopez and Marc Anthony were married for 10 years before calling it quits. Lopez and Anthony tied the knot in 2004, 4 years before they welcomed twins Max and M in 2008. The pair, however, ultimately went their separate ways in 2014. The statement read, "We have decided to end our marriage. This was a very difficult decision. We have come to an amicable conclusion on all matters." The now exes told US Weekly in a joint statement, quote, "It is a painful time for all involved, and we appreciate the respect our privacy at this time." Despite their divorce, the two musicians have worked to amicably co-parent their kids. Anthony also has 5 other children from other relationships, which is so great. 5 other children, girl. You got 7 children? Oh, girl. Anyways, what went wrong? Marc Anthony hinted in a September 2011 interview with Nightline that his breakup from Jennifer Lopez was mutual. Quote, "I'll tell you that it wasn't something sensationalistic happening. It was a realization on both our parts. So, you know, it wasn't shocking. These things happen. It was a decision that we made jointly. This is not a funeral. This is a barrier." Ooh. This is just two people who came together and just realized, I'm saying that it wasn't sustainable the way it was. And that's that. While Anthony stressed that he and Lopez likely would never reconcile, he would always have love for J-Lo. Now, Marc Anthony reacted to Jennifer Lopez chronicling their whirlwind marriage and divorce in her 2014 memoir, True Love. Quote, "We're closed that way," Anthony said on a February 2015 episode of The Meredith Show, confirming that he read an advance copy of the book. Quote, "We trust each other. I was proud of her.
The best thing I could do was to walk away." Why do you think that the relationship didn't work when you analyze it, if you do?
I don't talk about it much as a whole. I just think that that's private. I really do.
Fair enough, I get it.
I really do. I never have, and I don't. I'm not sure I ever will. I don't think that it's for public consumption. It's hard enough as it is.
So doesn't that make you feel a little bit strange about the book? Because that's public consumption.
Well, it's not my book.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's why I didn't write
Yeah.
a book. But, I was really, really proud of her. Only because I know what it took for her to open up. Like,
I know what it takes and I know that I know her very, very well. I just did everything in my power to be supportive of her, says Anthony. Okay, girl. All right. Anyways, so, as for Anthony, he's opted not to speak about their relationship in the years since they parted ways. Quote, I just think that's private. I never have, and I'm not sure I ever will, for public consumption as hard enough as it is. Okay, so, there was a lot of rumors, apparently about alleged cheating, alleged substance abuse, from his part. There was a lot of different, I just remember like reading a lot about that. There was so many different rumors. So I don't necessarily know exactly why, of course, but there is a lot of talk that there was some alleged infidelity and substance issues. So that's part of it. Now, in April 2016, for the cover story of W Magazine, Jennifer Lopez revealed when she realized when her marriage to Marc Anthony was over. She says, I hung in there for 7 years. I knew very quickly that it wasn't the right thing. When my marriage ended, I was not easy to find forgiveness. It wasn't the dream that I had hoped for. And I wouldn't, well, if you freaking do so many fucking interviews, it wasn't the right thing. Okay. So, and it would have been easier. Fuck. So, Jennifer Lopez said in an interview in 2016, she says, when my marriage ended, it was not easy to find forgiveness. It wasn't the dream that I had hoped for. And it would have been easier to fan the flames of resentment, disappointment, and anger. Mark is a father of my children, and that's never going away. So I have to work to make things right. And that is by far the hardest work I do. Now, Jennifer Lopez and Marc Anthony performed together at the Latin Grammy Awards in November 2016. Marc is a living legend, Lopez said in a Spanish interview after their duet. He is a magical and pure artist, giving away classics that will stay forever. He will always be many things in my life. Jennifer Lopez opened up about her co-parenting dynamic with Marc Anthony during a March 2017 episode of The View, saying, Marc and I are good how we are right now, she said. There's a reason we're not together, but we're great friends, and we're great parents together. We're even working on a Spanish album together, and that has been even better for us. We met working, and that's where we really are magical, when we're on stage together, and so we leave it there. That's it. They're best friends. We are like best friends, Jennifer Lopez said in another interview. Girl, she loves to talk about Marc Anthony. She says, we are making an album now. Actually, he's helping me make my Spanish album. At first, I was like, we're good with the kids, but if we start working together, are we going to start going at each other again? But it's been awesome, honestly. I think it's even helped our relationship, and it's made things even better. According to Lopez, her divorce also impacted her twins, saying, we are just in a really great place, and the kids get to spend time with the two of us more together and see us working together, she said. It's just good for them. It was good for us. It was just good for the whole family. So that is a little look back at the Marc Anthony Jennifer Lopez story. I mean, listen, it seems like she made a lot of damn interviews.
What was your favorite birthday that you've had? Probably my 40th birthday. Mark, my husband at the time, and Benny Medina, my manager, threw this huge party for me. And it was a big surprise. It was a big secret.
Host asked Jennifer Lopez why her affair with Mark Anthony, which started so passionately, came to an abrupt end after 10 years. She said, "In that relationship, I suffered emotional, mental, and verbal abuse. It made me lose myself." They first met backstage during the Cape Men, and Mark told Lopez, "One day, you're going to be my wife." Little did anyone know those words would come true. Despite both being married at the time, they openly carried on an affair. Lopez had just broken up with her partner, and the very next day, Mark proposed with a $4 million Harry Winston diamond ring. Just 4 days after his divorce was finalized, they got married in a whirlwind. But after the birth of their twins, Mark's controlling nature became obvious. He forbade the superstar from wearing revealing clothes, cut her off from her social circle, and even sabotaged her career out of jealousy over her fame. The once glowing queen willingly became a prisoner in her own marriage, all for the sake of her children. It wasn't until 2009, when Mark was caught cheating with a flight attendant, that things fell apart completely. When confronted, he even tried to turn it around on her, accusing her of having an affair with William Levy, and openly flirted with strangers in nightclubs. Lopez's trust in him was completely shattered, and she ended the toxic 10-year marriage herself.
But I gotta say, listen, if you can manage to stay friendly with an ex, especially if you have children, I think it's a beautiful thing. But I also say, like, don't force yourself to do things that are going to jeopardize your boundaries or your sanity or your self-respect or anything like that for anybody. But looks like J-Lo and Mark are allegedly besties. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure there's so much more tea and dirt to bring from the past. So if you wanted more flashback videos, let me know in the comments. I will be definitely doing those because I just love being nosy. And if we can go to the past together and bring back some tea, why don't we do it, girl? I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard for our live. Love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you. Mwah. Bye.